Namaskar, Adab, Shastra Gal और Khushamadied. Very, very good evening to all of you people. This is your master DJ Harsham who is going to talk about SAT examination, Scholastic Aptitude Test. And this SAT examination is very much important, in fact, required by most of the foreign universities where you are planning to take admissions. Whether it might be USA, whether it might be Germany, whether it might be Europe, it might be UK, any country, any Western country, European country, you take it. Most of these universities do require SAT. In fact, in India also, colleges have started taking SAT as an admission examination, and in a lot of colleges in India as well, SAT examination is being accepted as a admission criteria. So today I'm going to tell you that what are the details of SAT, what is the examination pattern, what is the marking scheme, how much marks do other colleges require, what are their benchmarks, their cutoff marks, each and everything in detail. When the examination happens, how much price you have to pay for taking this examination, and for how long the marks is valid for this examination. So let's get into the details of this SAT examination into this session. So let's get started. But before starting, I would request all of you kindly subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed it yet, because on this channel you'll get a lot of useful content which would be very much required by you for taking your decisions further for your career and in your life. Okay, so here we get into this SAT examination, Scholastic Assessment Test. Now moving forward, the basic details for this test is this: SAT is an entrance exam used by most of the colleges and universities in the USA and other countries to make admission decisions. It has started as a USA examination, like by colleges in USA they used to accept SAT, but very soon it became a normal norm for the other countries also, for other colleges of other countries also, to take SAT examination for their entrance test. Thereafter, it helps universities evaluate students' readiness and college level work. Now moving forward, this is a 2-hour 14 minutes examination. This is conducted by College Board. College Board is an organization. This examination is completely online, a computer based test. The marking is done on a 1600 scale point. Now this is not 1600 marks, please mind it. Just like in India, we have questions and then every question has a marks, like 4 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, whatever it is. But here it is not marks, it is a scale point, and it is different from marks. How it is different, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you in a later while. Now, exam centers in India, like all major Indian cities, they do have examination centers of SAT. Now, the examination fees for SAT fee for Indian students is $68 US dollars plus a $43 international fee. So, if you combine them, that comes somewhere around 10,000 Indian national rupees, 9,600 something around that. So you can take a lump sum of 10,000 rupees. Okay. Now moving forward, next basic detail is validity of the SAT score is for 5 years. Like if you have taken a SAT examination right now and you got a marks, that marks is valid for 5 years, and for next 5 years you can utilize that score for taking admission to any of the colleges. Okay. Next is that it is valid in 85 countries. Like 85 countries do use scores of SAT for taking entrance to their colleges. Most of the big major countries are taking this accepting the scores of SAT. USA, Canada, UK, Japan, Australia, most of them do accept it. Now there is 2 sections in SAT. First is reading and writing, second is mathematics, and then there is a section of essay also, that is an optional section. Now reading and writing section is of 64 minutes. It has got 54 questions only. Okay, 54 questions are there only. Now thereafter, mathematics section is there. The examination is of 70 minutes and the questions are 44 only. Cool. Now moving forward, essay is an optional section. You have 50 minutes and then you'll have only one question, like on one topic you'll have to write an essay. Now moving forward, most of the questions are multiple choice, though some of the math questions ask you to enter the answers rather than select it. So there would be few numerical answer type, and then most of the questions are MCQ type only. Now moving forward, exam pattern. What is the exam pattern? So basically test length, number of operational questions and pre-test questions. So there is basically 2 part here in this examination. There are, like in reading and writing, there are 25 operational questions and then there is 2 pre-test questions. So what happens that these 25 operational questions means the question on which your candidature would be judged, your candidature would be evaluated. But what about these 2 pre-test questions? So these 2 pre-test questions are those questions which would be utilized by the SAT conducting body, the organization, for evaluating that whether this question shall be utilized in their future examinations or not. So they give these type of two pre-test question in the normal examinations, and in your examination these two pre-test questions would be there, but these two pre-test questions would not be used for evaluating your performance. Like say for example, you have been given a question paper, there would be 27 questions, 25 plus 2, but your marking, your entire evaluation would be done based on these 25 questions, not on these two questions. Now the question is that if they are not marking you on these two questions, then why they are asking? So they are asking these two questions to enhance their own database. So if you all would be able to answer this question, like most of the aspirants who are most of the exam takers who are taking the examination, if they are able to answer this question, all of them correctly, then they will understand, okay, this is an easy question. If most of them would not be able to answer it, they would understand this is a difficult question. So they are using these two questions as a data set. Okay. Now the tricky part here is that while writing the paper, while taking the examination, you would not be knowing that which 25 questions are your main questions, like your operational questions, and which two questions are pre-test questions which would not be evaluated. So that is the tricky part, and hence in the examination of that all 27 questions, you will have to attempt all 27 questions, because which two questions would not be evaluated, that you do not know, and hence all 27 questions has to be attempted. That's the part. Now moving forward, mathematics, first module 20 operational questions, 2 pre-test questions, second module 20 operational, 2 pre-test. So there are two modules here. Here also there are two modules, 25 2, 25 2, and that is why in reading writing I had shown you just here 54 questions were there. So 54 means 27 question in the module 1, 27 questions in the module 2. Out of this 2 and 2, 4 questions would not be evaluated, 50 questions would be evaluated, but you'll have to attempt all 54. Similarly here 20 and 20 would be evaluated 40, and then 2 and 2 pretest, that is 4. So that is 44 questions. That is what is given here in mathematics as well. Cool. Now moving forward, next is this. Based on how you perform on the first module, the second module of the question would be either of more difficult or less difficult. Now what happens that, say for example, so this is a adaptive examination. This examination is a type of adaptive examination. Now what is this adaptive examination? So what happens that, say for example, you have been given this module 1, and in this module 1, say for example this module 1 is of 100 marks. Let's suppose an example. Now out of 100 marks, if you have scored somewhere around 90 marks or 95, so the system, the computer will understand that okay, you are an intelligent person, and hence you are finding this examination paper pretty easy. That's why you are able to score 95. So the next module, the second module which would be coming in front of you, would be a module which would be tougher than first module, because they know that for the first module, the question that they had given you for taking the test, that is very easy, and that's why you are able to score 95. So the second module would be tougher. But if it is other way, then vice versa will happen. Like if you are, if they have given you the first module and out of 100 marks, you are able to score 20 marks, 30 marks, then the next module would be of a lower level. I hope you understood that. So that is what is called as adaptive examination. That examination adapts itself according to the examination taker, according to the candidate. And hence, this is not a fixed difficulty level paper. This is rather an adaptive examination which adapts according to your answer giving pattern. Okay, and based on that, so say for example, then you will say that, sir, if there is a candidate who's not that intelligent, then he is getting incentivized because he is not attempting the question, so the next paper will be easier and then he'll attempt all of them. No, it does not happen like that. So what happens that they normalize the score. So it's not the correct method might not the correct word might not be normalization. Probably they apply some statistical method, and through that statistical method they evaluate every question based on its difficulty level, and hence they give the marks. So say for example, you have attempted the first module, and let's say you got 20 questions correct out of like not 20, say for example you got 7 questions correct out of these 25 questions. So the computer understood that okay, you are not that intelligent, or you are finding this paper very difficult. So the next module would be easier module. like all 25 questions which they have given would be easier. Now let's just say you have attempted all 25 questions. Okay. Now, so your score would be 25 correct here and 7 correct here. That is 32 correct. Now let's just say there is candidate B who has attempted here or got 20 questions correct out of 25. Now the system will understand that, okay, this guy is an intelligent guy. So now the system will give a tougher paper. Now in this tougher paper, say for example, this guy got only 10 questions correct out of 25. So now this guy has got 30 questions correct. This guy has got 32 questions correct. So now who will have a better marking? So the better marking would be for this guy, because this guy has performed well even in a tougher situation. So that is what I'm trying to say, that the marking scheme of this examination is performed using a statistical method where the tougher questions are weighted on a higher marks and then easier questions are weighted on a lower marks. And that is how examination scale points are counted, not the marks, because here the questions does not have a marks, they have scale points. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now moving forward, so the total score might range from 400 to 1600. Now say for example you attempted like 2 questions out of 25 questions in the first segment. So the next segment would be very easy. Now very easy. So say for example in that also you attempted like, say for example 10 questions. So now your score might range from something around 1400 to 1600. 1600 would be like if you have attempted 24 or 25 out of 25 in the first section, computer will understand that this guy is super intelligent, we have to give him a very difficult question. So then the score might even go to 1600. I hope you understood that. Now, sections evidence-based reading and writing. So this is of 200 to 800 points. Like, so there is reading, writing, this section. This is of 800 maximum, minimum 200 to 800. And again, mathematics is of 200 minimum to 800 maximum. And that is how it becomes 200, 200, 400 minimum to 1600 maximum. 400 to 1600. Mathematics 200 to 800 points. Hope you understood that. Now moving forward, a raw score is given based on the number of correct answers, and it is further normalized and converted into a scaled score based on the difficulty. No negative marking is there, so please mind it. Now moving forward, what is the weightage? So algebra has a question distribution of somewhere around 13 to 15 out of 20 questions. 35% is the weightage. No, sorry, not out of 20 question, out of 40 question. Out of 40 questions, roughly 13 to 15 questions are from algebra. 40 means module 1 has 20, module 2 has 20 questions. Then advanced math is around 13 to 15, 35% weightage. Geometry and trigonometry 5 to 7 questions, 15% weightage. Problem solving and data analysis 5 to 7 questions, 15%. This is the weightage for mathematics section. Now, so for English section, I have already given here evidence-based reading and writing. So these passages are readily available on the internet. You can even get previous year questions of SAT on the internet. Okay. Now moving forward, what are the important dates? So SAT examination is conducted 7 times in a year. In a year, it is conducted in March, May, June, August, October, November, and December. So 7 times a year. In March, May and June, these 3 months dates have already been released by the SAT organization. March 8th, 3rd May and 7th of June. These 3 dates examination would be conducted. For 8th of March, those who are willing to take examination on this date, they need to register by 21st February. For 3rd May, they need to register by 18 April, and for 7th June, they need to register by 22nd May. Okay, so these are the dates, important dates. Now moving forward, what is the eligibility? The minimum eligibility is class 12th pass from a recognized board. There is actually no age limit, but most of the students do take this examination in the age group of 17 to 19. But officially, there is no age limit for this examination at all. Now moving forward, you can appear for this examination as many times as you want, although for every time you'll have to pay that fees, 9,600 rupees of examination fees. Okay. Now moving forward, which the top universities, how much score do they need? So the best of the world, number 1 is MIT. They need a score of 1520 to 1580 out of 1600. So almost close to 99%, you can say. That much marks they need on the higher side. On the lower side, they even take admissions at 1520, 1540 if the candidature is strong. Stanford University again 1500 to 1560, Yale University 1470, 1515, University of Michigan 1350 to 1530, and University of California Berkeley is 1340 to 1540. Cool. Now moving forward, SAT scores for top universities in UK. This was USA. UK, University of Oxford takes at 1470, around University of Cambridge 1460, 1400, 1360 and 1290. So these are the colleges for UK. Now, so what is a good SAT score for 2025? See, if you are talking about top tier universities like USA, UK, but the best top 10, then you need to go above 1200. Now, if you are going for 1200 to 1400 in between that, you will get strong for many colleges, like a lot of good colleges you'll get, but not the top colleges. So if you leave the top colleges, like top 10 of the every country, then you will end up getting good colleges, but not the top 10 of the countries. Okay. Then 1000 to 1190, like around 1200, this is average range. And then you'll get state colleges, like those colleges which are average in that country also. In that country also, that those colleges are average only. Okay. And then below 1000 needs improvement, because here the selection would be really difficult. As an international applicant, you should not consider yourself going out of India at a score range of less than 1000, because then colleges would not be giving you that great thing or great exposure or great knowledge which you are expecting by going outside. Okay. So that is not advisable. Now, then there is a very common question that, sir, should I take SAT examination or ACT examination? Because this is scholastic assessment test. This is American college test. Now, ACT examination is also accepted by a lot of foreign universities for taking admission in their universities, and primarily American college, because the name itself suggests American college testing. Now, what are the differences between these two colleges? Let me tell you. So first, that this is a pure CBT. This is a paper-based test. Although CBT option is there, but mostly it is paper-based test. Now here the subjects are reading, writing and mathematics. Only two sections, but here the sections are English is there, math is there, fine. Then reading, science is also there. Although this was earlier mandatory, but now it has been made optional. Okay, and an optional writing essay section, which is either way here also. Then duration of this examination 2 hours 14 minutes. Here the duration is 2 hours 55 minutes, close to 3 minutes. And if you are going to go for essay, then it will go up to 3 hours 35 minutes. Now, mathematics or reference calculator. So here a reference sheet is provided. Calculators are permitted only in the mathematics section. So calculators are provided. No reference sheet is provided. Calculators are here also provided. Now the cost of this examination is around 9,600. Here it is 5,600. So the cost is on a major saving on ACT examination. Although ACT examination is primarily accepted in United States, but for other colleges of other countries, you'll have to go for SAT. So it's better advisable to go for SAT because it is widely accepted. Cool. Now moving forward. The number of test takers for SAT examination is 1.9 million. Around 19 lakh students appear for this every year. ACT is 14 lakhs, so almost similar. Difficulty level is almost again similar. Colleges acceptance, most colleges, even if they are test optional, even if they are test optional, accept scores from either examination. So accepting is not an issue, but for other countries like non-US, non-UK colleges, most of them are not accepting. Probably they don't write it down on the website that we accept ACT, and that is why a lot of people are very apprehensive that whether should we go for ACT or not. So advisable that go for SAT examination. That is a better better accepted examination. Fine, cool. So do you want to know more about ACT examination also? So if you can write it down in the comment box, if you need to know more about ACT examination, I'll make a similar video, a detailed video on ACT if you need to know that as well. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, that was all for this examination. I hope you loved and enjoyed this video and you got that information which you were looking for. If that is the case, do let me know in the comment box as well. I'd be happy to know that. And with this, myself Harshprem signing off at this junction. See you all in the next session. Till then, bye-bye, take care and good night. And if you need any other video, do write down in the comment box. I'll be happy helping you. Okay, bye-bye.